Elvira, my heart's on fire for El. Oh my gosh, what's up, everybody? Welcome in to Graycie York Week here on the Boston Chris podcast. Oh, I appreciate y'all being here this week. Man, I am such a huge fan of Texas music, and Graycie York is quintessentially Texas music. And we talk to Graycie about how Texas she is in this interview. And just an incredible singer-songwriter and a very emotive singer-songwriter. That is the word of the day. Let me tell you a little bit more about Graycie. Graycie York is a Texas-born singer-songwriter, blending the grit of classic country with the soul of a hippie heart. With turquoise on her fingers and a story in her songs, Graycie channels the honesty of Patsy Cline, the fire of Chris Stapleton, the flair of Casey Musgraves, and the soul of Adele, all wrapped in a sound that is unmistakably her own. Rooted in country but raised on a love for all kinds of music, she's a little Wild West, a little flower child, and walking her own line. From opening for Cody Johnson to sharing the stage with Cross Canadian Ragweed, and yes, now even a member of Ragweed as well. Graycie is making her mark with raw lyrics, powerhouse vocals, and the kind of charm you just can't fake. If you're into honest songs and big feelings, you are in the right place. Saddle up. We are chatting with Graycie York here for the first time ever here on the Boston Chris podcast. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you'd like to see more in-depth, candid interviews like this one right here, and comment down below your favorite part of this episode. And without any further ado, let's get into it with the one and the only Miss Graycie York.
It's time to jam. It's time to mingle. It's time to see what everyone's drinking. It's time to jam. It's time to mingle. It's time to see what everyone's drinking. Until we all lose connection.
Hey everybody, this is Brandon Ryder, and you're tuning in to the Boston Chris Show.
Guys, it's Graycie York Week here on the Boston Chris podcast, and holy crap, what a talent you are, Graycie. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Man, so you're from Rockwall, which I want to get into because I am from the Mineola area. I don't know if you're familiar
Okay.
with that area of Texas. But,
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it real. Rockwall is interesting to me because they have a Culver's.
I actually ate Culver's today.
So I'm going to Dallas tomorrow, and every time the wife and I go to Dallas, we kind of go that way instead of going 20. So that way we can stop at Culver's every single time. They are by far the best fast food restaurant, I think.
That is so funny, honestly, because I actually had that for lunch today, and I agree, it's one of my favorites. I am pretty partial to Brahms, though. I think that's also a great. There she is, right there.
Yeah, they're very
Underrated.
similar, aren't they?
Yeah, no, I love both of them, but that's hilarious that you brought that up today.
Yeah, we're heading out to the Texas Tea Room tomorrow to see a show, and we're going to stop by Culver's on the way. Yeah, so Graycie has a cat in the background today, so if you guys hear any craziness, that's what's going on. And I told her it's all good because it just adds character.
Yeah.
I wanted to chat with you straight off about the latest single, which I absolutely love. It's called "Didn't Want Me," and
Yes.
I love your content matter, first of all, because
Thank
and
you.
I want to unpack that later. But tell us a little bit about this single.
Yeah, so I wrote this song probably, I want to say, I think it was like 3-4 years ago. And I kind of have a tendency of doing that. I will write a song and then hold on to it for a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready to finally record this one. But I knew that that song was going to be recorded once I wrote it. But I just had so many people in my life deal with absent fathers or absent parents or just absent people that were super important in their life that should have been there. And I saw that it took a toll on them, and whether they said it or not, you could just tell. And conversations with them just kind of all mixed into this song, and also from personal experience of just not feeling wanted at all, and just, having somebody there and then all of a sudden they're just not anymore. And I feel like that's a very real and raw feeling for everybody. And I just wanted to kind of write for that and write for the people that have been through that, and that struggle with that same thing. And so, yeah, I wrote Didn't Want Me, and I went to Nashville and I recorded it in a batch of about 5 songs. And then that was my last one of the group. And I knew I wanted to kind of put it out later in the year because, getting colder and the seasonal depression, it all just kind of comes together and works out. So, yeah.
Well, that's a brilliant way of looking at the release too. I had one follow-up question, and I think you just gave me 2 more. Let me ask you the first one, the kind of the content matter of the song. Like, I feel like you, very typically for you as an artist, you talk about things that matter in your songs a lot of times. To me, that's being in Texas, it's very quintessentially Texas, right? Like, talking about things that matter. Do you have a hard time selling songs like that, right? Like, because it's almost like creative versus commercial. Like, if you're talking about things that matter, perhaps radio doesn't care about them quite as much. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think, I've found that it's funny because some of my songs will do really well, and then I'm like, okay, this is cool. People like this version of my music. And then
Sure.
I put out something kind of similar and they're like, oh, we don't want this. And it's like, okay, whoa, that's crazy. But I think for me, the biggest thing that I've had to remind myself of recently with my music is that if it means something to me and it's something that I truly believe in, that I'm going to put it out regardless, because I know that there's a whole system now and there's a whole timeline of however it's supposed to go. But
Yeah.
I personally can't stand that. And I think that,
Hell yeah.
I'm just here for music. I love music so much, and I genuinely could not live my life without music. And that's what all of my favorite musicians have done. They're there
Yeah.
for the music. They're
I
there
love
because
that.
they believe in it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there might be a system, but I don't
Well,
really
there's
care.
just so many songs that are that way under your catalog, like Sober
Mhm.
and, Didn't Want Me is a good example of that. There are others as well, but I just wanted to talk about that. You talked about holding on to songs for a really long time. This is another follow-up that you just gave me that's not on my list, but is that because once you record it, it's kind of final, right? You can't make any more changes to it. You can't it becomes a final product, and then that's what you have to perform out live. Whereas before it's recorded, you can kind of shape it differently each show until you
Mhm.
find the right version, so to speak. Is that why?
Yep. Honestly, yeah, that's part of it. I do like to sit with songs for a little bit, and sometimes it's not even on purpose, and I kind of just get in that writing habit, and I'll write another one that I like a little more, so I kind of push the other one off to the side, and then I might come back to it several years later. But I'm also one of those people that I believe that songs songs are meant for a specific time. Like, they'll come to you whenever they're meant to, be released, or whatever it might be. And um, so with Didn't Want Me, it just felt like it was time to finally put that one out, and that I had, I knew that it was just time for that one to see the other side of all of this.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I also kind of just get in this weird space where I'm like, I don't know if I like it enough. I don't know if it's good enough to be a single. But then again, I go back on what I just said of like believing in my own craft and what speaks to me. Um, so I kind of just forget about some of them, come back to them, but also recording for me with these specific songs. Like I said, I went to Nashville, and so to go to Nashville is kind of a journey in itself because it's a long drive. I like to
Yeah.
drive, but it's like a 9-hour drive, and I have to plan the studio time and plan all this stuff while also like doing shows and working and kind of juggling all of it. So getting to Nashville to record them was it took a while, and that was kind of part of the reason why they took a little bit longer than usual, because my first batch of music was made in Texas with my old drummer and a good friend of mine. And so we kind of were in the studio pretty much every week, every few days, and could regularly get stuff out. And I would love to go back to that, but I was definitely happy with choosing Nashville for this certain batch of songs that I had just to test the
Good
waters.
stuff. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the lyric video that you made for it too, because I know from following you on social media. Look at the pride on the face. I see it already. Like, you made this yourself. This was all you.
Yes, yeah.
Talk about the process for that, because I'd love. I saw the post about it, and it's dope as heck, man. I love it.
Thanks. Yeah, I just knew I wanted to. I genuinely have always loved making and creating like videos, and I grew up watching YouTube, and so like editing videos was always something that was really special to me and fun for me. And so I knew that this one I wanted to have a lyric video because I like lyric videos. I like music videos. I think that music videos need to come back.
I
Like
agree.
I'm so sad about MTV. It's
Yeah.
so depressing. But I knew I wanted to make a lyric video for this one because back on the song being important to me, I wanted people to know the lyrics because, you know, you can make up your own lyrics. That's completely fine. If that's what you hear, that's what you hear. But I just wanted to have the actual lyrics, you know, for somebody to read off and know what they are and kind of piece together like, oh, this is what this song is about. And kind of just have that more emotional aspect of it and the dramatic aspect of it, of being in the car and it's pouring rain and, you know, I'm kind of having an emotional breakdown in the car. And that's kind of what my actual life could look like if I'm in a moment where I'm feeling unwanted or I'm feeling, you know, upset. And I'm usually in the car listening to sad music, crying. Like it's my real life. And I just took it and I made it into the video and I worked really hard on it. So I'm very happy with it.
It's kick ass.
Yeah, it was
It
just
truly
fun.
is. It's
Thanks.
kick ass. Yeah, and it drives the message home, right? That's what a music video is meant to do anyway. And I think that's why people are afraid to do them nowadays, is because you can really fail to reach the mark. And honestly, it can hinder a song if you don't succeed, right? It's a very risky thing to do. And I think that's probably why they don't do it. Plus, I mean, the music video is supposed to be a special thing, right? Kind of like when you put a single out, that's supposed to be more special than, you know, your not singles. And I get it to an extent, but I'm there with you. I think everything should have some kind of visualization with the song. I think that's why the bigger artists are doing it, you know, like the Billie Eilishes and the Taylor Swifts. They're just putting out something. Even if it's something that's looping over and over again, it's better than just having a picture to look at if you're like me and very visual with your music.
So am I.
Yeah.
I'm a visual person in all aspects of my life, so it just helps me. And like I said, I just love like sitting on the couch and putting on music videos and watching them. So
Same. Yeah, I'm the same way. Exact same way. And I deliver food sometimes, so I DoorDash a lot. So like between deliveries, I like to watch music videos, you know. Plus, you know, I'm researching like for you. Like I've been listening to you for like 2 weeks straight, just getting ready for this for this episode. So it helps, right? Yeah, it's a tough gig, Graycie. It really is. So yeah, I think this is the longest we've talked about one song. So that's what's up. Good stuff. Let's talk about a little bit about you growing up in Rockwall, which for people outside of Texas is a little bit east of the Metroplex, which is DFW, Dallas Fort Worth. What's it like growing up in that part of the country for you?
you know, growing up, I really loved it. It's a beautiful town. We have, you know, a huge lake, and I spent many days on the lake, and it was a really small, like you kind of knew everybody town when I was growing up. And now that I'm older, it's changed a lot. There's a lot of people here now.
Dallas is starting to swallow it, right? Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, we just opened up an HEB today, so
Whoa, let's go.
yeah, that's huge. People were waiting outside since like 2 a.m., so that's really big. I'm not kidding. Like,
I know you're not.
This is my town. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, I honestly, I had a great time. I can't complain about my raising here, and it's been wonderful. I am, however, ready to go. I'm ready to pack it up and move somewhere different. I think that it's just time. You know, all my friends are gone. My parents are still here, but like I can come see my parents whenever I want.
Mm-hmm.
So um
The
yeah, I
world
think
is
it's just
your
kind of
oyster, as they say, right? You can go wherever
yeah.
you want. Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand that all too well. How's music finding you as a youngster? Like, can you kind of look back and remember your first musical memory?
Yeah, I mean, I know everybody says it, but my entire family tells me that I was singing before I could even speak an entire sentence. So my life has just always been involved around music in any way. And then I got my first guitar at like 12, didn't pick it up for an entire year. And then at 13, I decided, I guess I'm going to try it. And I was not very good at it at first, but then I picked it up, taught myself how to play it because I couldn't sit through lessons. And then I did piano for several years, started writing finally at 16, and played my first like public gig at 17, and have been doing it ever since.
So is that when music became a little more serious for you? Was around 17?
Oh yeah. Yeah. When I started actually writing songs, because I didn't believe that I could at first. Like songwriting was just not something I thought that I was capable of. I thought that I was always going to have to do co-writing or, take other people's songs, and um then it just happened to start flowing out one day, and I was like, okay, this train's not going anywhere. It's going to keep on moving. So it definitely got a lot more serious for me at 17, and I was steadily booking gigs. And for me, it was during COVID, so it was honestly kind of a little different than most people's come up, because I was having to do Facebook lives
Mm-hmm.
and TikTok lives or whatever it was, and trying to keep up with the social media aspect of it as well. But growing up in the age of the internet, it was a little easier for me to keep up. It's still very stressful, and I wish that it wasn't the way that it is,
Yeah.
but I'm also very grateful for it. And I'm grateful for the COVID times, even though they were very weird. It was just, I think, worked out for me in the long haul. So
Yeah, I think it gets you ready for kind of the way music has evolved even since the pandemic, right? So like you didn't
mhm,
know what it was like before that, so this is just
mhm.
natural and organic to you. Whereas, a lot of artists that have been around longer have had to really struggle to adjust to the new technology and the new times and
Yeah.
all of that. You didn't really have to worry about that. You just came in when it was that way already. So I can understand
Mhm.
that being a huge benefit. Um, Let me ask you this. Where was I? Oh, I don't normally ask this question, but about influences. I feel like it's such a cookie cutter question to just say. So, who were your influences? But you know what? I'm going to ask you. But just because I think your music is so Texas, right? Like,
Oh, thank you.
absolutely, yeah. I was hoping you would take that as a compliment because it's meant as one. It's just so Texas. Like I said, I've been listening to your music pretty much nonstop for the last couple of weeks, and you are so Texas. So I'm curious what your influences were and are to get your music the way and your vibe the way it is.
Well, thank you. I've never heard. I mean, I've heard like obviously, I'm a Texas girl and Texas country, but I've never heard that I'm just like so Texas. That's cool. Well, definitely these people right here behind me are huge in my career. Case Musgraves, Patsy Cline, Haggard, Nelson, all of them.
Well, I'm sitting in Casey Musgrave's hometown right now. Literally, her dad lives about probably about a 30-second walk away from where I'm sitting right now.
So I'll see you next week. We're gonna go and meet. We're gonna go make friends, and
All right.
Um, no, let's see. I love Adele. Adele has always been huge for me. Chris Stapleton. Man, I really did grow up on kind of a little bit of everything. My dad was listening to obviously like divorced dad rock, taking me to school. He wasn't even divorced. Like my parents are together,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
just that was his jam, is divorced dad rock. And um, I love yacht rock. It's kind of my
Hell
my whole
yeah.
thing. I love yacht rock and 70s music. So I listen to a lot of that, and then I'll listen to like 50s country. I really love kind of everything, and there's so many people from different genres that have kind of all made me who I am now. And obviously, like Miranda Lambert, I think the Texas side of it is definitely like Casey and Miranda.
Yeah.
In that whole kind of country, like the Pageant Material album, and the Kerosene, and all like just all of Miranda's first albums really
And
were
she's
very
still killing
vital.
it today, man. Oh my God, her new stuff
Yeah,
is ridiculous. Like, holy crap!
yeah.
Stop sleeping on now, Miranda. Right? Like,
No,
uh,
seriously.
yeah. I feel like too many people are writing her off. Like, oh man, her stuff was so good back in the day. No, back in the day is still now, bro. Like,
Yeah, she's still the queen. Yeah,
yeah,
that's Queen
yeah.
Miranda. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's not far. Not she grew up in Lindale, which is the next
Hmm.
town over from me. So
Hmm.
I'm in the hotbed of Texas women country. Casey and
Yeah.
Miranda, very blessed.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't met either one of them. Maybe someday. By the way, little known fact: Casey Musgrave's mother is a hell of an artist. Like
Yes.
painter. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I follow her painting account because again, I'm a massive
Yeah,
Casey
I
Musgraves
am
fan.
as well. Oh man, it's a major part of my playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids laugh at me sometimes because I'm not like, you look at me, you don't see Casey Musgraves fan, but hell, I love Taylor Swift and Chapel
Same.
Roan, and
Same.
I mean, bring it, right? Um,
Hmm.
yeah, so yeah, it's funny how all over the place your influences are. You really didn't mention a whole lot of Texas artists in your influences, but yeah, it's so Texas what you're doing, so red dirt, so
Thanks.
very edgy. I love what you do. I think a lot of that is kind of allowing you to become guests on other folks' stuff too. Other incredible Texas artists like Tanner Usrey and Cody Canada, and I mean, holy crap, this is happening for you, right? Like this has to be surreal, right?
Yeah. No, it's yeah, I actually, so not even to like toot my own horn, but I got to meet Miranda a couple weeks ago because we got to play, Ragweed got to play the Robert Earl Keen benefit, which that coming out
Wow.
of my mouth is
Yeah.
like the craziest thing
Hmm.
ever. But I got to meet Miranda. I got to meet so many people that I've looked up to for so long. And I've gotten to meet so many people over these last several years of my life that I am just like, what,
Yeah.
and I've gotten to share the stage with some amazing artists, and it's very surreal, very very surreal.
Do you I know we have really evil inner voices, right? Some people call it imposter syndrome, stuff like that. When these kind of things are happening for you, right? Like the Cody meeting and performing with Cody. I know Tanner is so very close to you, and all of these inspirations that you're getting to meet, like Robert Earl Keen and Miranda and stuff like that. How are your inner voices treating you? Do you feel like you belong in those things and stuff like that?
No, no, my
Yeah.
gosh, no. I'm kind of one of those people that I don't really, it doesn't hit me until months later or
Yeah.
years later. Like it's just like, whoa, I actually got to do that. That's really crazy. And I feel like in the moments of them, I'm just so, my adrenaline is pumping, or like I'm just so excited or grateful or whatever it might be that I'm in the moment, but then I walk away and I think I black out and I'm like, wait, what just happened?
Yep. It's so
Wait,
true.
was I there?
Did
I
that
don't know
just
if I was
happen?
there.
Did that
Yeah.
really? Yeah, I know what you mean.
Did that just cool. Okay. Yeah, that was real.
Yeah.
Um yeah, and with the ragweed stuff, that's mind-boggling. Like I can't even describe what that's been like.
I
I
mean, you're a
mean,
member of the band now. I mean, let's be honest. You are a member of Ragweed.
yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Uh crazy. I don't even see I don't even know how to react to some of it
Hmm.
because it doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
And I've, had multiple conversations with Cody and Shannon and all of them now, and they're like, Graycie, you're a part of the band. Like, get it together. I'm like, I am just a guest here. I
Hmm.
don't, I don't, I don't belong. And they're like, no,
So how do you get
you're
yourself to
perfect.
believe that you deserve that, though? Like, because that's hard for me, right?
Yeah. That is something that I don't know if I've actually gotten there yet.
Yeah.
I feel like I think obviously I'm super grateful that I have all of these things coming in, and I do get to meet these people and do get to play these shows. But also I don't, because like you said, inner voices, they're
Horrible.
tough,
Yes.
horrible.
Yeah.
Um, and so I don't think I've ever just sat down and have been like, yeah, you deserved that. Like you worked really hard for that. You deserved that. I think it's just more of like a gracious thing. I'm just like,
Mm.
yes, that was awesome. I'm so grateful that I got to experience
Yeah.
that. Um,
I
I think
think
that,
for me, like there has to be a repetition of people telling me from the outside of my inner being, telling me from outside that I deserve it, that you worked hard, that you should
mhm,
get those opportunities, right? Like it's very similar for me, like just asking people to come on the show, and some of the yeses I get are just mind-boggling to me, right? And
mhm.
so I'll go to my wife like a little girl and just super excited and doing this with my hands and like dancing around the kitchen or something, and she'll be like, "You realize you are the only one surprised by this."
Yeah,
You know, so it's like
yeah,
you hear that from the outside, and that kind of validates that,
yeah.
right? You know what I mean? So is that happening for you? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I genuinely have like the greatest people in my corners, and everybody's rooting me or cheering me on, and they are like the roots
yeah,
of my tree.
I know exactly
If
what you
I was
mean.
a yeah,
Yeah,
and I I probably still wouldn't be doing music if I didn't have most of the people I have now. Just people that seriously will check in on me and be like, "Hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Are you good?" Um, and people that are just insanely nice and will send random messages being like, "Hey, I listened to your music today. I thought about you. You're so deserving of this." And I'm just like, "Wow, you're
hmm,
extremely nice. Thank you." And it
yeah.
means a lot. Um, but I couldn't do what I do without the people that I have in my life who help keep me
Yeah,
uplifted.
you put it a great way. You cannot stand without your root system, right? So,
Mhm.
I mean, good way to put it. I love that. Thank you for talking to me about this. I know it's tough, and yeah, we all doubt ourselves, right? And sometimes that voice is louder for some of us than others, right? So,
Mhm.
I just love the things that are happening for you, and I love the fact that you understand the gravity of the things that are happening for you, because you deserve it. As somebody who's on the outside, you deserve it. Like I can see how
Thank
hard you
you.
work and how many shows you've done over the years. And your writing is phenomenal. I want to talk a little bit more about your writing. You mentioned how kind of transitioning from being a musician to being a writer is such a huge step, right?
Mhm.
And even you mentioned even going from co-writing to solo writing is a huge step, especially for you. What inspired you to take those steps to become a writer?
Honestly, it was just something in my soul that I knew needed to happen because all of my favorites were songwriters, and I just knew that I had too much emotion as a human being to keep it all in my body. I needed to release some of that stuff and put it somewhere. And honestly, like Patsy Cline. So Patsy Cline and I was my very first song I ever put out. It was the very first song I ever wrote. Um, and I wrote it I think in 2017.
That alone is mind-boggling to me. Just that's just
I was
wow. That's
I
just a
was
great
16
song.
years old.
Yeah, that's a
Thank you.
great song. Wow.
Thank you. And it's the one that made me start being like, okay, I think I can actually do this. I think I can sit down and write songs. And so after that, honestly, they just kind of started coming naturally. And a lot of my songs I black out and I don't remember where they came from. I'm just like,
Wow.
oh, I have that song. I don't know what like when did I write that? I don't know. Luckily, my phone tells me it has the dates for me, or else I'd never know.
Wow.
Um, some of them obviously are very specific, and I remember exactly where I was, exactly what was happening in my life, and what was going on. But a lot of them, I, I don't even know where they came from. It's like they just fell in my lap. Thankfully, thankfully they fell in my lap.
I love how
Um,
you said that writing was really emotion based. You needed somewhere for your emotion to go. I have a note here in my outline, the word emotive in big letters with a couple of exclamation points. I find your writing to be very emotive. So the question I have for you here about the emotion in your writing, is your writing mostly from personal experience? Is it mostly biographical, or are you able to write from other perspectives as well and still have the same kind of passion level to deliver those songs?
Most of it is me. Most of it is my life, my feelings, my emotions, for sure. Because, like I said, it's just something that helps release my emotions and helps heal me and
Yeah.
get stuff off my plate and out of my brain. And I am kind of digging more into like other people's stories and lives and like writing from those perspectives. And I've done it before. I have a song called Just Another Night on my Sad Bird EP, and that song was about a friend of mine's situation. Um, but it also hurt me so bad to sit there and listen to them tell me this story that it inspired me because I am honestly such an empath. Like that's just me as a person. I just feel really big emotions about everything, even
Yeah.
if it's not about me. So if my friends are sitting here telling me the most heartbreaking story, like I feel every single ounce of their pain that they just told me, and I'm gonna sit down and write a song about it. So I've definitely been diving more into that recently with my writing, but I've done it before. And it's really special when I write the song from somebody else's perspective and I play it for them and they cry or they're like, I love it. I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad I didn't make you mad for
Yeah.
telling your secrets. But um, yeah, I definitely love to mix in, some other people's stories sometimes.
And what does it look like for you as a songwriter? Is it spontaneous for you? Like songs just come? You mentioned that you're blacking out. I find that interesting. But is it spontaneous, or are you able to schedule a write as well?
Um, like if I take a trip to Nashville, I usually will go for writes. That's kind of the whole thing that it's centered around. And I, will hang out with another songwriter and we'll get a song done. And usually I can work pretty well in a co-write. It's usually pretty easy to get a song done or at least half a song done. Um, by myself, I don't like to, because a lot of people will like force themselves to sit down every day for 30 minutes and write. I can't do that. I just get frustrated and I end up just putting the guitar down and I'm like, I'm done. I'm not writing a song ever again. So I just kind of sit down when I feel like I want to sit down and play guitar and write something, or if I'm feeling inspired, or if I feel overwhelmed with my emotions, I sit down with my guitar and I'm like, okay, let's try to figure out where this is coming from and see if we can get something from this. So it's usually spontaneous, but also I love to sit and play guitar and write and sing. So it's usually an everyday, every other day thing.
So I got to tell you, the genesis of the reason why I do this show is because of my wife and I were at a show probably about 10 years ago. I couldn't even tell you who we were there to see. But I looked at my wife and I heard a lyric and I said, man, I wonder what she meant by that. And my wife said, you should ask her. And here we are, like 10 years later, over almost 600 episodes later. And I get to ask now. So that's what's cool about this. Now I'm going to ask you, as a consumer of your music or a fan of you as an artist, I hear your songs and I feel like it's spontaneous, that these songs had to have come from a spontaneous place just because of how raw the lyrics are in a lot of your songs. And I feel like raw is really hard to schedule, right? So as a fan, that's how I take it in. So that's why I wanted to ask you the question. I find that interesting that you are able to kind of schedule, and the co-writing part of that kind of makes sense too, right? Because
Yeah.
that's definitely going to add a different element to all of that as well. Good stuff, man. Thank you for that. I wanted to talk about you in the studio as well, because it's two sides of creative when it comes to an artist: is songwriting and their studio time. Number one, first question: how hands-on are you in the studio in getting your product to be in a final stage?
I so back when it was me and my previous drummer, and we were in the studio, we would be in that studio until 2 a.m., 4 a.m., and we would just sit there and just go over it 1,000 times, add stuff in, take stuff out, redo vocals. cut different things, do harmonies, and I was very, very hands-on with all of that. When it came to like going to Nashville, it's just a bit of a different routine and kind of how they schedule their studio work and how the studio kind of just runs. Um, but luckily, I found Ryan at the Amber Sound, and he's super easy to work with. He's super open to like my ideas and also throwing in his own. So I would spend probably 3 to 4 days at the studio and listen to the session players, get their stuff down, do harmonies and all that. But then I would have to come back to Texas, obviously. And so he would mix, send it to me and be like, hey, listen here. If there's anything that you want taken out, added, tell me what you want. I'd send back my notes. He'd fix it up, send me the next one, and then so on until we got the final version that I was like, okay, there's nothing that I would change about this. It's ready. And that's kind of how that worked for that. But I think me personally, I have to be hands-on because it's my song. I want it to sound how I picture it in my head, and I'm gonna keep doing different versions of it until we get there. But I also just really, I love being in the studio so much. Like it's one of my favorite spots to be, and so I love to just be a part of every aspect of it, even if it's just sitting there watching him, turn dials and whatever it is. I'm just like, what are you doing? Tell me what you're doing.
I'm so excited you answered it that way because I have a follow up. I want to talk about the song "Honey Tell Me."
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I found after listening to all of your songs on replay, and this song stands out as being different to me, and I'm going to tell you why. I feel like this song, you kind of pulled back the instrumentation on this song, and you really just let your vocals shine throughout the song. And I feel like there wasn't any of there's some of that in other songs, but this song specifically, it was almost like all you needed was the vocals. Like this was the vocals, and it was a vocal heavy song. Is it your decision to pull back the instrumentation on a song like that and shine the vocals?
It's funny because I've never, that wasn't like a choice that I made. That's me on acoustic on Honey Tell Me. So I was playing along to like my vocal take, or not even my vocal take, to the click, and I was just playing along, and it just, whatever came out for that take was what we worked with and what I recorded vocals on top of. So I guess it was just my natural choice to just kind of,
it's just a brilliant choice, honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was just a brilliant choice. I love it. I knew it was acoustic and all that, but like, man, most acoustic songs just feel, I love acoustic music. It's my go-to. I love solo acoustic, singer-songwriter type stuff. That is my jam. I love the kind of toned down nature, unproduced nature of the music. I didn't get that from this though. It felt like really produced, but man, I just love it. I wanted to give you your flowers on that song, and I thought you might be surprised because that's not a song that you're typically known for, right?
No, and I was at Cheatham Street one night, and they yelled from the crowd. They were like, "Play Honey Tell Me," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, underground."
Yeah, straight up, man. That's the song out of all your music that really stuck to me. It was the only one that I made additional notes on my outline for that I wanted to chat with you about, just because of the pulling back of the instrumentation. I found that to be very, very tasteful in this song. Yeah, sure. So yeah, you've had two EPs, 2020 and 2022. Correct me if I'm wrong. The first one was produced in Texas, and the second one was produced in Nashville. Is that correct?
So they were both produced in Texas.
Okay.
So Sad Bird was meant to be more of like that broken down acoustic raw vocals. But then once we kind of got in the studio with it, we were messing around with some stuff and it got a little more produced.
I know.
I'm still so happy with how it turned out, and I wouldn't change anything. But it was originally meant to be kind of the more broken down acoustic, but both of them were done in Texas with my my old drummer and my old producer.
Okay, so but you've moved to Nashville with your current stuff, right? Is that right?
Yes,
So
yeah.
how do you think that's benefiting you as an artist? Because I know that those are kind of for country music artists. Those are the two places to record, right?
Hmm.
Texas and Nashville, in my opinion. You've done
Yeah.
both, so how has that benefited you?
I think, with Nashville and going to record in Nashville, you meet a lot of like stupid talented musicians just
Yeah.
being in the studio. Because obviously they have session players, and these session players are like insane musicians. Like, I was so honored to get to have Mitch play on some of my songs. I think he did. He was actually on "Didn't Want Me." He played guitar for Ed Sheeran on Ed Sheeran's last tour,
Wow.
and I was like, "Mitch, what do you mean you play for Ed Sheeran and you're in the studio right now playing on my music?"
Yeah.
So like that's what recording in Nashville is like. You just meet insane musicians, and you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah." No, you worked for Olivia Newton-John. Oh, okay, and you're gonna play this on my song, Little Ol' Me. Yeah, okay. Um, so I think the connections and stuff, it's really great to be out in Nashville and record and write out there and stuff. For Texas, it's just honestly convenience and being close and getting to have the process sped up a little faster. Um, and when I, recorded in Texas, it was with my friends, so it was just really fun, and we had a lot of good times doing that, and we messed around a lot when we should have been working, but it was all part of the process.
I bet you it was a different set of lessons for each place, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Talk a little bit. Speaking of lessons, that's probably an imperfect segue. Um, Talk a little bit about the impact of Tanner Usrey on you, because I know how close you guys are.
Yeah. We met. When did we even meet? I mean, he was one of the first people I actually really became friends with when I joined the music scene in general, and because he was still coming up and he hadn't dropped actually the first night that I met Tanner in person, he dropped the Medicine Man EP.
Mm.
So yeah, and he, we just became friends, and we would sing Beautiful Lies together at shows, and then he wanted to record it, and we recorded it and put that out, and he's doing wonderful things. He's taken off doing all these massive gigs, and I don't get to see him very often. We don't talk very often, but yeah, he's absolutely killing it, and he obviously had a huge impact on my music career, and let me be on so many cool shows, and we made a lot of memories, and it was a lot of alcohol and a lot of painful next mornings, but
Yeah.
all part of the memories.
This is part of rock and roll, right?
you know
Well, "Beautiful Lies" is an amazing song. First of all, I love it.
yes,
And
it is.
yeah, just a great song. You guys deliver it amazing as well. Yeah,
Thanks.
good stuff. Yeah, I love Tanner so much. I'm hoping to get him on the show someday. Always wanted to chat with him. What a unique individual, right? Just musically and in life, the whole 9 yards, and just a great songwriter as well. Man, Texas
Mhm.
has some great songwriters.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of great songwriters, and probably a really underrated one too, I wanted to chat a little bit about Texas Rain, which
Oh.
you did, which was originally by 7 Miles South, which again they wrote a great song, but you kind of changed it around from a different perspective, put a female touch
Mhm.
on it. Talk a little bit about the song, why you chose to put it out there as a version of yourself.
So actually, it was during COVID. It was when I was at home and I was just having to steadily put out, videos on Instagram or TikTok, and just trying to keep my music alive and being like, "Hey, I'm here trying to make a career.
Yeah.
Follow me."
Yep.
And one day I just decided, because I obviously love that song. It's a classic. It's Texas Rain, and so I just wanted to cover it, and I was like, it'd be kind of cool if I could flip this around and do it from the female perspective instead. And then I put it out and I put it on Twitter, and people on Twitter were like, "You need to record this." And I was like, "Oh, they're being serious." And then it ended up doing pretty well. And I was like, I think I should do this.
Yeah.
And so I took it to the studio and we just started recording it. And I was like, oh my God, I am so excited about this. And it was crazy because I've never really felt, I say this, but it's kind of a lie. I've felt like Texas Rain was going to be bigger than everything I'd put out previous when we were recording it. It was just that feeling in the studio of like, we're really killing this. Like, this recording is really cool and we really believe in this. And I felt it a little bit with like other songs, but nothing has ever felt like Texas Rain did in the studio. It was just like, yes, people are going to be excited about this. And we were just so stoked about it. And then it did what it's done. And I'm like mind blown by the numbers and all of the things and all of the people that have still continued to listen to it. And, you know, ask for it at shows and stuff. It's really cool. Really, really cool.
2.5 million streams on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wow. Like, thank you, Twitter, right?
Yeah. Thanks. Shout out Twitter. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's badass. Good for you. I mean, good stuff. You're still kind of choosing covers from time to time as well, especially on your live shows. How are you choosing which covers that you want to perform?
Honestly, I just kind of do what songs I like. I've had the same few covers in my set for several years now, but 2026 it's gonna start getting a little different, you know.
Uh-oh.
Throw in some different stuff. And also some songs have just, they're kind of like overdone now, and I don't want to add to it and people be like, oh, this song again, like another person singing Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, here we go again. So I've decided it's time to take it out of my set. So yeah, I love covers. Like, I love when somebody can take a song and make it their own. And
I agree.
You know, I think that it's cool.
I think it makes people listen to your originals too, right? Like, if you take a cover and put your spin on it, they're going to want to listen to something that you wrote just based on the originality that you placed into the cover. I think that's very, very smart. Now, if you're trying to be a jukebox, I'm not there with you, right? Like, at all. I mean,
right.
I could have stayed home and listened to the YouTube video on that.
Yeah, and some of the biggest songs in the world and of all time are covers, and people just don't know it. Mm-hmm. People just are unaware.
It's so true. Like,
By Myself by Celine Dion. That's not her song. Nope. She covered it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and most songs that you hear are written by somebody other than the artist. I mean, George Strait made a living of that, right? Please don't attack me. I'm not calling him anything. George is the king, but he has made a living singing other people's songs.
It's a fact. It's not even a hateful opinion, because again, King George, duh. He could sing the hell out of them.
Patsy Cline wasn't known as a songwriter either. She wrote some songs, but I mean, the songs that she is known for, she did not write.
Right. Absolutely.
That's just the way it is.
She just killed it.
Yeah, she's just an iconic vocalist, just like George Strait is an iconic vocalist. They understand the delivery of a song, how to marry a song with an artist, right? And a lot of times that marriage does not include writing the song yourself. It's the way it is, man. Sometimes the connection between the songwriter and the song is not as strong as the artist in the song. Right? It's very unusual for that to happen, but it does happen. Man, so stoked to have Graycie York here on the show today. I have some fun segments that we're going to go with you. We call this Having Fun with Graycie York. And so I have 8 segments. You're going to help me choose some of these, though, okay? So I'm going to give you a choice between 2 on some of these. So the first one, choose either Did You Know or Algorithm.
Did you know?
All right. Did you know? Can you tell us something that people may not know about Graycie York?
Ooh. Something that people don't know, it's very boring, but it's fun for me, is that I have a tooth gem. Like, I have like a little, you can't really see it.
I can see it. Yeah, that's badass.
I've had it for like 5 years now almost, and you have to get it removed at the dentist if you want it taken off.
Okay. Do people notice it, like when you smile and stuff?
No, because when I smile, it's
Yeah,
hidden.
it's
So
hidden.
it's just kind of like a, like a little fun,
Yeah, so
little
people
fun
are not going to
thing.
know that. Very cool. All right, next segment is called Impactful. Can you name 3 people that impacted your life in some way? And then can you tell us the number one thing you learned from each of those people?
Yeah. There's been so many people. My mother, obviously, my mother. Um, she taught me to not take bull crap from nobody. I censored myself for that one,
You
but
don't
you
have
can.
to, by the way. Bullshit.
Okay. Yeah, you don't take bullshit from nobody. Um, and to be a strong, independent woman. And maybe a little too independent sometimes, but we're working on it.
There's no such thing.
Um,
No such thing.
we're working on it. Let's see who else. Um, Cody Canada. Cody Canada has changed my life in multiple ways, and he has taught me to just keep going and to just believe in your music, believe in your art, and do what feels right to you. And a lot of people are going to say whatever they want to say, and keep letting them speak. And he's just an amazing human being. Who else? There's so many people. Okay, I'm gonna go with my dad. I feel like my parents are such an easy answer, but
Not at
I'm an
all.
only child. I'm an only child. I grew up an only child, and so I'm very close to my parents. But my dad has definitely impacted me in my life and in my music. He is like one of the main reasons that I have the music taste that I do, and I, you know, have the knowledge of music that I do, and
Divorced dad rock, right?
divorced dad rock exactly. And he he's taught me to be kind and to believe in myself and to be true to who I am. And even if it's not, you know, prim and proper and all pretty and perfect, he said, just be yourself. And if they
That's
like it, they like
that sounds like a country song to me, Graycie. Mom, Dad, and Cody Canada.
it. Yeah, that's so funny.
you, you write it. I want some credit. Anyway,
Perfect.
all right. Next segment. Choose either Mount Rushmore or one artist.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go Mount Rushmore because I can't pick one artist.
Okay, so Mount Rushmore is who is on your Mount Rushmore of most influential artists to you.
Casey Musgraves. Golden Hour absolutely changed my life. I mean, all of her albums have changed my life, but Golden Hour absolutely flipped my world upside down. So Casey Musgraves.
My
Okay.
favorite song is Biscuits, just because.
I actually we got to paint our senior spots in high school, our parking spots, and I put mind your own biscuits, life will be gravy.
Let's go.
And then my nickname ended up being Gravy Fork. So I was like, this
Well,
is
at
great.
least it wasn't Biscuits, right? At least
Yeah,
your
right.
nickname wasn't Biscuits.
True. At least it wasn't biscuits. That's very true. Um, you know, man, Patsy Cline. They're literally both right here,
Mm-hmm.
but Patsy Cline. I remember exactly where I was the moment I heard her voice for the first time, and I remember exactly what I was doing. Like everything around me. I remember what the breeze felt like in the truck. It just was a moment that I'm never gonna forget. And I was hooked instantly. And she had a song for every single emotion that I've felt at
Yep.
that age and still. And so I'd probably also have to say Patsy Cline. So Casey Musgraves, Patsy Cline. Oh my gosh. Keith Whitley.
Wow, nice.
One more. This is so hard. It's like picking a favorite child or a favorite animal. Man. I would be nobody without Chris Stapleton. Honestly, I like my songwriting would not be what it is without Chris Stapleton. So,
What a great
Chris
foursome. Yeah, I love that. Very good stuff. 3 amazing songwriters, too. Sorry, Patsy.
yes.
But
Yeah.
But three
Right.
amazing songwriters. All right, next one is kind of a game show segment called What? No, it's not. Yes, it is. Next one's a game show network, a game show segment that I call What the Heck, and you'll see why. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit you with 5 questions, and these are meant to put a visual into your head. So tell me whatever comes to mind first. Don't try not to change your answer, all right?
Oh God. Okay.
All right, number 1. I'm gonna choose a pet question just because of the cat that's been with us all day today.
Right.
If your pet could talk about you, what would it say?
The first one that came to my head is "You're a bitch." That's what came to my head. So
I love it. Okay, number 2. Oh my God. Okay, if 4 out of 5 people suffer from diarrhea, does that mean one person enjoys it?
yes, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, because there's some people that I'm just like, you what? You did what? So I guarantee.
You think
I
there's people out
guarantee.
there that enjoy diarrhea?
I'm sure. I'm sure there's somebody that like really, really loves it. Not me. It's definitely not me, but
Well,
somebody.
maybe gastro doctors really like it. Keeps them in
Maybe.
business, maybe. I don't know.
I think that there's somebody.
People that have stock in Pepto?
I mean, I used to watch, My Strange Addictions, and somebody would do a coffee enema. It's like,
No, what?
so I guarantee there's somebody out there that's gotta enjoy it.
This is why we call it What the Heck. See, who knew we would be talking about coffee enemas with Graycie York today? You just
Welcome
never
to my
know.
life.
This is why we podcast. All right, number
Yes.
3. Have you ever dropped your phone on your face while using it in bed?
Oh, that's like a weekly occurrence.
Thank God I'm not the only one. All right, number 4. What are you most afraid of?
Clowns.
Really?
Clowns in the deep ocean. If I can't like see what's under me, water wise, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Get me out. But clowns, yeah, no.
I was probably mid-20s the first time I was able to walk into the ocean. And I'm going to tell you why. I've told this story on the podcast before, but I think you might be interested. When I was really little, probably 5 or 6 years old, I was living in Massachusetts, and the name of the beach was Nantasket. And I did not know this at the time when I was 5 or 6, but apparently they had a crab problem. I did not know this. So this is my first like experience with the ocean. I'm out there and just walking on the beach and in the water, and I got like clawed by a crab, and it like drew blood, Graycie. Like, so
No.
for the next until I was too old to be carried, like my family would have to carry me into the ocean. I would not like literally put my foot down on the sand.
Yeah, that's basically how I am. I'm like, if I get too far, like if my family or friends, they're like, "Oh, let's go in the water for a little bit." I'm like, "Okay, if we get past a certain point, somebody's putting me on their back because I'm not touching. I can't see. I don't
As an
know what's
extension
right
to
there."
this story, it just now occurred to me, holy crap, as an extension to this story, there was a pond in East Bridgewater, Massachusetts called Robbins Pond. It was fresh water, and we went there to swim, and I was probably 8 or 9 at this point, Graycie, and I was like terrified. I would not go into the water. My entire family assured me there were no crabs because this was fresh water, and I'm like, all right, fine. After an hour or 2 of convincing, I went out into the water. I ended up with 3 stitches in the bottom of my foot from stepping on a freshwater clam. That's a true story.
I can't. No, see, something touches my foot.
Yes.
That's where I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I was in Lake Ray Hubbard, which I saw a poll, by the way, and they said that they want to change it to Lake Ray
Wiley Hubbard?
and I think that
Absolutely.
we should have that.
Yes, I agree.
As a Rockwallian, I think that
I
should
agree.
be changed.
Yep, 100%.
But I was in Lake Ray Hubbard, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be brave today. I'm jumping in, and here we go. I jump in. Instantly, something touches my foot. I think it was a tree branch. But I thought it was a fish. And also, we have catfish out here that are massive. Like,
Yes.
that's the whole reason we have a Bass Pro Shop, to show off our big catfish from the lake. And I thought it was a catfish going to grab my foot. And so I got out of that water instantly and I did not get back in. But it was probably a tree branch. Like, that's literally what it was, probably.
Yeah.
But what if that went up my foot? You know what I mean? Hospital. Tree branch up the leg.
The first time I saw the movie Don't Go in the Water, like I saw the title of that movie, I was like, yeah, that's my life.
No, yeah.
All right, number
I'm
5.
done.
This is why we call it What the Heck, y'all. All right, number 5. What is the funniest thing you have ever wore?
It's a good question. Funniest thing I've ever worn. Huh. You know, at the most recent Ragweed show, I wore a bunch of gaff tape on my the back of my leather shorts because my leather shorts were ripping as I was walking to the stage 5 minutes before showtime. So I had to gaff tape them, and the gaff tape was falling at the show or during the show. So somebody had to come up and slap my ass to get the gaff tape
Let's go.
to stick.
Oh,
So
my gosh.
I recently wore a bunch of gaff tape. I, you know,
Saved your life, though, didn't it?
it really did. Thank God for gaff tape. If I could invest in gaff tape, I think I would.
Sounds like a sponsorship opportunity right here.
Gaff tape, we need you more than ever.
Let's go. All right, that's awesome stuff. All right, next segment. Choose one of these two, either bucket list or fly on the wall.
Ooh, fly on the wall.
All right, in all of history, which room do you wish you were a fly on the wall in?
Like, for anything?
Anything, yep.
Oh my God. Wow. I thought we were gonna narrow it down to like something smaller. Anything. I would say I would love to be a fly on the wall when God, I don't know. Oh, there's like my brain is literally going every which direction. I still haven't landed on what I would actually want to be a fly on the wall. I'm like, oh, this. Probably a fly on the wall when Patsy Cline was in the studio to record Crazy.
I wonder
Or a fly on the wall in the studio when they were recording the Asia album for Steely Dan.
wow, what an interesting comparison. There's not a whole lot of there's a lot of there's a lot of space between those. That's for sure.
Yes, yeah.
All right, good stuff. All right, next segment is either biggest lesson or moment of gravity. Which one would you like?
Moment of gravity.
All right, so moment of gravity, I feel like we all have that one moment in time that kind of led us on our trajectory to where we ended up now. Can you kind of see what that event was for you?
Man. Wow. Honestly, I think obviously Texas Rain was like a huge moment in my life, and like releasing that song was crazy, and what came after that was crazy. But I think as far as like song wise, that was the biggest moment of gravity for me. But like show wise, I feel like when I got to play Born and Raised Fest was really cool. I got to sing with Flatland Cavalry and Josh Abbott Band
Wow.
in the same weekend and do my own show. And it was just crazy. And I got to play all 3 stages technically. And it was just like really cool. And it felt like an awesome weekend. And it felt like after that, it just kind of led to more. And so I would say Born and Raised Fest was pretty major for me.
Great stuff. All right, next segment is called Grateful. What 3 things do you think you're the most grateful for?
I'm grateful for ragweed. Grateful for ragweed being back. I am grateful for compassionate people.
What a great answer.
And I am grateful for the ability to write songs that help heal me and potentially other people.
Great stuff. All right, last segment could be the hardest one for you to answer, though. The segment is called "Who Do You Think You Are?" So, who is Graycie York?
I don't know. I'm still figuring that out. Graycie York, man, she is funny sometimes, and
Indeed.
she's tall and sassy and kind until somebody forces me out of my kind bubble, which is not very often, but certain things.
So good at meeting energy.
Yes. Even though apparently I have an RBF. Somebody told me that at my show the other day. So that was awesome.
I think we all have that, to be fair.
She said, I love your songs, but I love your RBF more. I was like, okay.
Well, all right, then.
Cool. Yeah.
Another great song title if you come up with one.
I know. I need to. Graycie York is to be determined. That's where she's to be determined.
To be determined. I love it. Man, Graycie, I appreciate you so much for being here today. It looks like your internet is dying, which is cool, but it held on. Let me tell people where they can follow along with you. We're going to put a link to your website in the description, which is graycieyork.com, and that's spelled GRAYCIEYORK, just like it is on your screen. We'll put a link down there. What's the best way for people to follow along with you and support you as an artist, would you say?
I would say Instagram. I'm most active on my Instagram. That's where I kind of update everything first. But TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I do post stuff on YouTube. I also have a small podcast that I do not very often these days because I've been kind of busy, but it's gonna be up and running again soon. It's called Coffee and a Yap. And yeah, Spotify, music, all that good stuff. I'm everywhere.
Yeah, I love Coffee and a Yap. I wish I should have talked about it. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's on your YouTube, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Graycie, I appreciate you doing this for us, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, y'all, this is Heath Walker. Thanks for tuning in to the Boston Chris Show.